Place this meeting in order. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. May we have a roll call, please?
Maria Mills
Here.
Bo Opening.
I'm here.
Tom Jordan.
Here.
Lance Green.
Is here.
Newton White.
Here.
Stan Schmidt. Chair John Junko.
Here. Okay, like at this point in time to have election of officers for our vice chair. Anybody have a nomination?
For vice chair?
For vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Lance Green.
Any other nominations? Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
Can we have a roll call for Lance for vice chair position?
Maria Mills
Yes.
Bo Opening.
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Lance Green.
Do I have to? Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Chair John Junko.
Yes. Lance, I am stepping down and you are temporarily going to sit in my position until Stan gets here.
All right.
I'll be relinquishing my position to you. Congratulations. Now when Stan gets here, it's his call.
Unless he got bread.
Yeah, pumpkin bread.
If he doesn't have pumpkin bread, he doesn't get to be chair.
Valentine's season.
I warmed it up for you, so. Yeah, I'll temporarily sit in your chair till
Yeah.
Stan arrives, and then I'll bump into this chair. All right, don't go on my floor.
We're gonna get musical chairs tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We have to place him. He sits here.
He sits here.
Yeah. He's there ready to fall off. Yeah.
No kidding. All right.
Okay.
You get hazard pay for that chair.
All right. Okay, wait a minute. Lance, this is your phone. We got the same phone. All right.
All right.
Good thing I talked loud.
All right.
All
watch
right,
Stan
check.
walk.
Okay, so, get a consideration of the minutes of our last meeting.
Make a
Move
motion
to
to
approve
accept.
the minutes of November 18th.
I have a motion, do I have a second? I have a second from Tom. Would you call the roll on that, please?
Maria Mills
Yes.
Bo Opening.
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Vice Chair Lance Green.
Yes. Okay. So, go ahead, what are we doing?
I thought Penny was coming up to...
We're requesting that the Crystal Lake item be removed off the agenda and placed on a future City Planning Commission agenda.
Okay, can I get a motion on that, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Maria Mills
Yes.
Bo Opening.
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
Vice Chair Stan. Lance Green.
Yes. Okay. All right, so is that it on that, Tim? Thank you. Okay. All right, application, case number 21-52000001. Applicant is Woodhaven LLC. A request by the applicant for approval of the development order modification to the final plat and plans of Phase 2 of the Woodhaven to reduce the number of single-family lots from 229 to 175. Go ahead, Tim.
Tim Berman, Community Development. The proposed plan back in August of 2021, City Council approved the Woodhaven Phase 2 plat plans. That time, 229 single-family homes, 100 townhomes, and about 1.58 units per acre. Since that time, the applicant ICI has proposed a modification to that plat and plans that were formally approved. What it would do would reduce the number of single-family homes to 175. Number of townhomes would stay the same. It would bring the density down to 1.3 units per acre. It expands some of the retention ponds and also reduces impact to wetlands. As you can see in the graphic here, in this area right here was formerly a cul-de-sac with single-family homes, and also in this area right here was a road with single-family homes.
Hold up
Those
one
have-
second, Tim. So we'll let Stan move in. Let the record show that Stan shut up, Stan take over the chair. Okay, Stan, you're good?
First night as chairperson and you're late.
What do you want to do? You taking over? I'm taking over? Yeah, just let the record show you just showed up. The record show I just showed up.
Late.
Late.
I'm going yours.
I have some,
with no bread.
have some
And with
interesting
no
comments
bread.
on I-4.
No kind of seasonal bread.
Okay, this is the last chair I'm moving into.
Can we play a little moving music here?
I'm pure principal, I'm not moving
What's
anymore.
up?
We're just gonna leave presenting them with.
All right, sorry about that, Tim.
Oh, no
Hey,
problem.
John, your mic's off.
That's probably a good idea. That's what we're on.
Good. All right. Going back as indicated, the modification, it removed single-family homes in this area here, replaced it with a pond. Also, single-family homes in this area now has been replaced and a pond infrastructure is in there then. Staff has reviewed the request. It complies with the requirements of the Land Development Code along with the Woodhaven Master Development Agreement. And staff is recommending approval based on it complying with the Land Development Code and the Woodhaven Master Development Agreement. ICI representatives are also here if you have questions on their application.
Okay. All right. Oh, we understand that. Okay.
So if the Planning Commission has any questions for me, be happy to answer them.
So this is not something that could be held, it could just be done administratively with it being a reduction? Because doesn't the MDA say they could go up to a certain amount of lots or is it because they're changing the shape that it has to come in front of us?
Changing the shape also too, the plat is being revised, the removed lots in, so the way our code is referenced are required to go back through the same approval process as the former one did.
Okay.
We had to do this with Westport Phase 4 a couple years ago. They removed about 15 lots for the exact same reason here, basically to get, on-site fill there then, is what there then. So we've had to do this a number of times with projects.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're losing 54 housing units. How is that going to impact our what we would have been anticipating for impact fees and cost share money, traffic share money? Is that going to have an impact on the city?
It'll reduce the amount collected in impact fees, but also too, those single family homes won't be there impacting the infrastructure then. Again, our review, we do not look at basically reduction in fees or how much will not be brought in. We have to focus on whether it meets the unit count and code requirements, and this does. Future land use is 0 to 2 units per acre, so it falls within that range. And as we indicated too, concurrency is met then. So it meets the requirements that we have to review this item and bring it forward. And that's why staff is recommending approval.
Any other comments?
We haven't gone down the list yet.
Just go down the list? Okay.
Oh,
John?
it's not often we get something like this where it's a reduction. I mean, from a investment perspective, they're making more wildlife, and I guess it's the dirt. They're just saving money on fill.
Yes, and they can provide more information on that.
Okay.
And also just want to mention, Chairman or Vice Chairman Green mentioned this already. The PUD allows for a specific number of units, so these units could not potentially be lost. They could be developed further on in the Woodhaven project as we move forward. Then, I think we indicated that number in the report. Then, so it's not that these are totally gone. It's still that has the ability to be developed as we move forward in the project. Then,
Like on a future phase.
future phases.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank
But
you.
not in this.
Not in this phase, but as we further go toward the south, toward the Pioneer Trail, there's could be developed that way.
Maria?
And that wouldn't need to come in front of us, right? If
Future-
they take these houses and put them in a future phase,
Oh,
would that need to come in front of
yes.
us again? Oh,
That'd be
okay.
a brand new plat and plans of phase 3, phase 4. That would come back through to Planning Commission and City Council.
Okay, got it. I'm good.
Bo?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask Tim on the numbers going down, so the other areas could have numbers go up. I shouldn't say up, that's not fair. The total numbers and the density, are there numbers for the overall project in the PUD? In other words, we have a maximum total within the PUD, is that right?
Yeah, the PUD sets out that 1,338 dwelling units could be developed on that Woodhaven PUD.
Right.
I think right now, basically, with there, we have 792 available if this gets approved then.
So we aren't really affecting the total that's available.
No, you're not
that could be
affecting the
built.
total available.
Okay, thanks. That's all I had.
That's it? I don't have any questions either. Any other comments from the public? We'll hear from the applicant or the developer. There we go. Sorry. I'm new at this.
And kind of came in the middle. You'll catch on.
Well, I just suffered through I-4 too.
Hi there, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. Dick Smith, ICI Homes, 2379 Bevel Road, Daytona Beach. Really just can answer questions that you might have. We didn't make this decision lightly, I can tell you that. We definitely want more lots, but the reality is it's a very difficult site to develop. The difference is in cost of imported fill that would have been required to maximize the number of lots versus on-site fill. So by expanding the retention areas, we maximize the on-site fill, which is much more cost-effective for us. Bobby Ball is here from Zev Cohen & Associates. Technically speaking, this is a very difficult site because we've got the issues related to the fact that we discharge our water to Spruce Creek, and so we have to have much more retention and treatment than we generally have in other neighborhoods, and that's what's leading to this economic decision. We sent out for pricing on the prior plan, and it just didn't make economic sense, even with the value of the lots skyrocketing the way they are. But we had to do this to make this would make economic sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Well, yeah, once he goes up, everybody
Yeah,
gets
you
to
just
talk
go
to
down
him.
the
Yeah.
line.
All right. You want to start down there at Lance?
Yeah.
So Dick, with that being in mind, and you're saying that with you having to have more retention because of, so the future phases, how will this affect the future phases if more houses are going to be in the future phases? Or is the future phase going to have to be designed with that more retention versus discharge to the creek?
Yeah, I think if we ever reach our maximum density, it'll be because through higher density product, townhomes,
Because the creek's heading
apartments.
to the north though of this, and you're heading to the south, yes?
No, this whole project is going to discharge to the south.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but moving forward then, we're still designing it where however many houses are in whatever phase, the retention for those houses is in that phase.
Right.
Okay.
We met the criteria with the prior plan, so the expansion of these ponds at this point is solely because of the economic situation, though. But relative to other projects that we do, we've got, I don't know what the percentage is, but we've got quite a bit more retention, that's treatment volume that is required. For instance, we have these dry ponds that we usually do not have to have. There's a large one in phase 1 of Woodhaven that's on the north boundary, and in this particular phase we've got big dry ponds planned for here too, which we don't really get the same premium for those, and it uses up quite a bit of uplands.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Noonan. I will never say cheaper than dirt again. So what do you think the prospects would, if you would have to go with townhomes or multifamily fourplexes or whatever to get the density back up in another phase? What do you think your prospects are doing that?
Yeah, you'd asked me to be looking at a crystal ball. I can tell you that we didn't build townhomes in Port Orange for a long time, but they've been pretty well received, that first phase, and so I don't know that we're going to reach maximum density in this project. I really
That would
don't.
be a good thing. I like to see reduction in, that's what people are clamoring for, is
Yep.
reduction in density,
Yep.
and several people have approached me looking for a house with a larger lot,
Right.
more land.
Yeah.
So maybe that's trending back and such. I have no questions further at this time. I'd like to see you after we vote them.
Okay.
John?
You've already submitted a layout for like the southern part, we'll call that phase 3, because I remember looking at vegetation buffers between Cypress Springs Parkway and the border properties where you had a nice generous vegetation barrier. So if you're going to take that density now, move it southern, you still have room to grow and stay within the required minimums?
I don't think that we're gonna meet our density
Okay.
maximums. I
All right.
really don't.
Is your phase 2 like a flood zone area, or is it just?
There, Bobby, are there any
Is there
areas
any
that are?
like? Is it X? What zone is that in?
Bobby Ball with Zevco and Associates. Yes, it is in the flood zone, and we've gone through FEMA and established what the flood zone elevation is. The combination of two things: it's the floodplain itself,
Right.
as well as the treatment training criteria that the district requires now for TMDLs, which is total maximum daily load, which is nitrogen and phosphorus. So the only way to get those things is through typically dry ponds and wet ponds,
I
or
see.
dry ponds, wet ponds, and expensive control structures and things like that. So the truth is, this is the way development in this type of
Right.
terrain is.
So you're
going.
doing a change grade.
Yes, the
And
only way to
do
get
you have
it
to
is-
do a LOMAR for the homeowners, for homeowners
Yes.
insurance? You do. So all the residents gonna need a LOMAR?
Yes,
Okay. All right, well, it happened. Okay.
we've
Thank you.
actually already gone through FEMA and established
Yeah,
the flood
it's gonna
elevation.
take a long time. Good luck.
So-
Yeah, okay. I'm
good?
done. Thank you.
All right, Maria?
I think I'm good.
Bo?
You said the whole area is X floodplain?
No, it's in the floodplain.
It is?
A,
floodplain,
yes.
Okay,
In A,
I
yeah.
didn't hear you.
Most of it is in A.
That's all I have.
Tom?
No, I don't have any questions for him.
I don't have anything either. We'll now do the public.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody from the public want to comment on this?
Lance, does your wife wanna come up?
All right,
Mr.
nobody
Chair-
else.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to have
We've already
further,
had a motion and a second.
further discussion, Mr. Chair?
Excuse me?
Further discussion?
Yes.
So I think here's an opportunity, and I'm just saying, this is just something that we talk about all along, and this is reduced density. This is reduced, this increases, if you guys look at the buffer is bigger, the green belt is bigger, and we're conserving more space in this, and I think that's something big to think about as we move forward with Woodhaven, and we've seen what they've done down there to start with, and how the road looks, and how they're growing. But at the same token, is if they can't fit all the lots, I want to say it's a bonus for
the city.
the people in the city
Yeah.
that they're not building as many houses, and that we are conserving this green space. And I think that's something important to think about here as we move forward.
My fault for a second. I should have had the
Okay.
motion first. We need a motion first, then the second, then we can have the additional
Okay.
discussion. So can I have a motion on this item, please?
Make a motion to approve case number 21-52000001.
Is there a
Second.
second? We have a
Second.
second. Moved and seconded. Okay, now discussion.
So anyway, what I said,
Good for the city.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just think if we're conserving more land, we got less houses and a little bit less density. We sit up here on this panel and we talk about density, and impact. And I know we're gonna lose a little bit of money in the long run, Johnny, like you said, but at the same token, the impact's not gonna be on the infrastructure just the same, so. That's all I got, Stan, thank you.
All right, anybody else?
No, you don't see this happen a lot by a developer. And I
No.
give them I mean, it must have been a tough pill to swallow.
Well, I mean, they
So-
still have the ability to put those lots
Yeah.
somewhere else, and that's something to think
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
but, if you look at the design and how much more green space is in this phase, I think it makes a big difference.
Oh, it does. Visually, you can see the difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, it's not every day you see something like this.
Yeah.
And at times you embrace it. Today we embrace it. I'm good.
All right, anybody else? Okay, hearing no more discussion, then I will call for a vote on case number 21-52000001. Would you read the roll, please?
Maria Milkman.
Yes.
Bill Bokeney.
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Dan Strange.
Yes.
Newton White.
Yes.
John Junko.
Yes.
Chair Stanton.
Yes.
Okay.
6-0.
Stan, I'd like to ask a further question of Mr. Smith, if I could.
What was that? Okay. Yeah, I got it. All right,
Go ahead.
do you wanna, is it on this, or what do you want?
No,
I mean, we've
it's-
already voted on this,
Yeah, I
thing, so
know,
we're kinda
it
done with
was
it.
after the issue.
You wanna-
I would like to ask him a question while we have a representative.
If that's fine with,
I kind of know what you want.
The last time you were here, we talked about the fence
in Woodhaven Phase 1 facing I-95.
Mhm.
And the last time I drove to New Smyrna, the only landscape that was there looks like ragweed from a distance at 70 miles an hour. Is there any progress? Is there any status when that's going to be just?
There is, and I've got a proposal with me here tonight that I can share with you.
Perfect.
After the meeting, we can talk about it, and I can share with you what we've done. I have freed up some budget dollars to do that. We're working on getting irrigation there, which is really kind of a challenge, but I'll share share it with you after the meeting, if that's okay.
That'll be fine, thank
Okay.
you.
Commission comment?
He was prepared for that.
He was.
Yeah, he knew. I don't
All right,
blame him.
so that wraps that part up. Next thing is other business. Do we have any commissioner comments? Maria?
No, I'm good.
Bo?
No, thank you.
Tom?
I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Green?
I do, and I just want to say that, you know, I couldn't help but notice that we have businesses reopening town. We have businesses in difficult sites that are reopening, and that's good to see.
Waffle House, your favorite.
And what I see moving forward is I see our city looking better. I mean, the Waffle House is open back up, you know. I could see their sign out there. It said open.
Do you see it?
But
Are
then
you
the
sure?
little store, the little gas station next to it is reopened again.
Sometime.
And the little things that are happening in the progress. But overall, what I see is I see our city looking better as we move forward. And I think that's a testament to the department. At the same token, as I see some of the older buildings that need maintenance. That Walgreens that's on the corner of Williamsburg, it ain't been washed in 10 years. And it needs to be cleaned. I mean, things like that make our city look better than the other cities. And I think we need to take a hard look at continuing our commercial enforcement. So, but other than that, again, I want to say another fine job and looking forward to this year.
Good.
Can I go last?
Sure. John?
No, it's a new year, new beginning. I think last year was bumpy, but we got through it and looking forward to a whole new fresh start. So that's it. Positive vibes.
You consider this better after my first meeting?
And listen, you'll get better. You'll get better. Trust me. If I could get better, you could get better.
It was interesting. Newton, go ahead.
Put the timer on them.
3 minutes.
Mr. Berman,
Oh, Lord.
cleaning out my new office quarters, I was going through some old file cabinets and some old file boxes, and I found a very interesting document. It says Port Orange Zoning Code Ordinance 1985 to 1987, City of Port Orange logo on the top, if the camera can see that. And I would like to return this to the Community Development Department for posterity's sake. So if you would please approach.
Needs to go in the history museum.
You know he's putting that right in.
Is there a time
He's
capsule?
putting that in the shredder.
You
Before
might
you were
not
born,
even have a
Tim.
copy of this in City Hall, so.
I've got 2 or 3 copies of that.
Is there a
Put it
time
under
capsule
glass
someplace?
somewhere, sir.
Unfortunately, as
Going in the recycle.
Vice Chairman Green talked about the older properties, we sometimes have to use this document as of today. So unfortunately, I know some of the aspects of that one.
There you go. Any other commissioner comments? I think we've gone down the list.
I have a question, Tim. What happened to the monument sign at the intersection of Village Trail and Nova Road?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Run over.
traffic. Yeah, run over is a good term to describe that. Yeah, basically there was a traffic accident and basically a car ran into it. Then we are currently working with the HOA then
Yeah.
to get that removed and replaced. That is in the public right of way, but there's a license agreement between the city and the HOA that allowed them to put it in there. So they were responsible to basically correct that then. So we've met with code enforcement earlier this week to get all that information to start working on that process. I think
Whose
it's,
cost is that?
what's that?
Whose cost?
The HOA.
HOA. Okay.
So,
Will they be subrogating back to the driver and waiting for insurance money, or are they gonna fix it? I know there's been other signs in town that was the holdup, is they couldn't fix the sign until they got the insurance.
you gotta look at the way the license agreement, I think the way that they're structured is they've got to remove it because it's a hazard then. And then however long it takes them to get a new one back in there is up to them to be without a sign then. But
Basically, the HOA's got to go
yeah.
through that.
I think our main focus is just get it removed, and then we worry about the replacement at that time.
So at least it won't be sitting there.
We had
Looking
to
like a-
filed over on
yeah.
him, and we had to fix it and go after him. And it doesn't match.
All right, so now we're ready for staff comments.
One thing I want to kind of mention, some of you probably have watched the council meetings and CRA meetings from back in December then, but the city council has, and CRA, selected Bristol Development Group as the one to move forward with in terms of Riverwalk project and start working together there then. So there's a concept plan that was provided. It consisted of about 250 to 270 multifamily units and about 25,000 square feet of commercial on that site then. I can go ahead and send the planning commission basically the information that we have there, the videos, also to the plan. Again, we are just in the early stages of this then. We will be updating you as we move forward. There will be items related to this that will come before this board then. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And like I said, we'll get you that information that was provided back in December then. That way if you want to look over and get an update, and if you have any questions, you can give me a call. I'll be happy to answer them.
Just to clarify, Tim, there was a newspaper article and they listed that there would be condo units. And I don't remember ever hearing that discussed by the people from Bristol. It was always presented as apartments.
Yeah, what was provided to us was multifamily.
Yeah.
On there then, so that's what was presented then. Now the zoning does allow condominium units then as there then. So but
Multifamily
I'd
would be
rather
considered
Yeah.
condominiums though, right?
So-
Yes, could be.
we'll again that was an early stage, and we'll be
Yeah.
we're continuing to
Right,
work
as
there,
we go
and we'll
along.
continue to update that project then. On there. But just want to make sure everyone was aware of that, and like I said, we can provide you that information. So if you want to see it or have it at least in an easy find, we can get that to you then.
Now, I'm curious, that's a projected 20-year project? The timeline on that one?
They would
20
indicated hopefully
years.
3 years from now
3 years?
we'll be
Okay.
able to go out there
I
and
don't know, I
have
saw something about it being a long-term project.
no.
I hope not.
Okay.
That's the restaurant.
I think the rest of it is.
That's the restaurant.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
This, I
that's,
think,
thanks
is-
for clarifying.
The time frame that we're given is start construction probably next year at
Next
this
year.
time.
Nice.
And then opening 3 years from probably
Speaking
last
of the-
December then.
Speaking of the restaurant, what's the I thought that was supposed to open in March.
March 22nd, 2022 is the date that it is required to get its CO. If it does not get its CO on that date, it loses an economic incentive agreement, and also too, the master development agreement is void. So they still, if they do not meet that deadline, they still continue building the restaurant and continue to open it then under the underlying zoning. It's just that the developer loses economic incentive agreement, and the master development agreement would also go away. And what that contains is some deviations that would allow for the development of the condominium layout there then. So that's what's at stake then.
So that would be totally gone at that point in time. They'd have to start over
Right.
with a new
The
development
new
agreement,
concept
some
plan
kind
then.
of thing.
Now, the underlying zoning in there.
Right, that's there.
It does allow for high-rise condominiums there at that height. I think
Mhm.
at the 17th there. So that would not go away. That'd still be there. What would go away is his current layout. And that current layout of those two condo towers, I'm sure everyone kind of remembers that layout then. They had to have some deviation from the land development code to make that work. There were some parking reductions in there. There were some setbacks in. Those would all go away then. So you would not be able to build that exact layout. You'd have to modify that then.
You
This is
said
the
March the
concept.
22nd.
Yeah. They
This,
come up-
Tim, is this the concept that we're going with?
That's what you're showing right there is the Bristol development. That's
Right.
their concept then.
Okay.
I was referring to on the condo side there just a minute ago was the Halifax River Partners
Okay.
site then.
Right.
Just west of Fish.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
Tim, is there a PUD on that for the MDA?
The way that was written in the code, that's that planned community Riverwalk zoning district. And the way it's written, it says that you could do a master development agreement concept plan without having to change it to PUD or PCD. So that's what we have.
Okay.
So it's kind of a way to lump a bunch of variances in one document and go forward and put some restrictions on it then. So that's what's in play there. But that master development agreement would expire, and they would still be left with the underlying zoning, which would allow that restaurant to continue as a permitted use then.
And that's what's going on right now with Bristol. They're doing the master development agreement. They're working with the city staff to hammer out what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, we're in the early stages of
Right.
seeing basically if one's needed or not, or which way to go then, and looking at the code and stuff like that then.
Because they're also trying to buy some of the other properties that were not city-owned.
Yep, they are, that's
They're talking to
between
anybody
them
they can,
and the
yeah.
private property owners then, we're not on that then, but
Right,
they,
that's nothing to do with us, but it may be in the concept.
Yeah, they have
And
every
the
right.
concept did not have those parcels in it.
their concept did not, which is basically, that way it can continue to move forward then, as they work on their own with those private landowners there, we would not be held up by private
Right.
landowners on there then. So their concept plan is strictly just property owned by the city of Port Orange.
And that's totally separate from the MDA with the restaurant and condos
Correct.
on the north end.
I'm just trying to, that was just trying to answer the questions on the fish
Yeah, I just
restaurant
wanted to
then.
make sure nobody got the impression
Yeah.
it was all one thing. I had the other question, which was, what are the chances that date can be extended?
That's
I
come through this
don't-
group, doesn't it?
It's in a master development agreement. That would have to come before planning
Dates are-
commission, city council, and we don't have enough time there because of the way the public hearing schedule would have there. So it won't be. You won't get that request.
Okay.
It
Thank
won't be
you.
favorable
Past
for
that
the
deadline.
developer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a
I was
good
gonna
call.
say, I don't think anybody's real happy about that. I don't think the city
So-
council's
Well-
happy about it either.
But we can. We meet with the developer, the contractor out there. We're doing as much as we can in terms of expedited review when things come in here, inspections, to make sure that we have all the available staff out there to, try to, the goal is to try to meet that deadline. It's going to be very difficult, but we're making sure that staff is basically giving all the assistance that we can to try to achieve that as quick as possible to get that restaurant open.
Good.
Okay, anything else? Any other staff want to comment? We're good? Anybody from the public want to comment on anything that's happened tonight? We're good on that?
Got one thing.
Yes, sir.
Would like to introduce our new senior planner, Gideon Smith.
Oh,
He comes
there we go.
from North
Gideon.
Carolina. He's been here for about a month now.
What's first name?
Gideon.
Gideon.
So he's kind of the reason why we think he brought the cold with him, since he's from technically up north.
Wow.
You're fired, get out.
If-
Get out.
See, what happens is if things go faster now, it's because of Giddy Up. Giddy Up Smith here will take care of it all.
But like I said,
You're
you'll
in
probably
trouble
be seeing
now.
him the next couple months presenting items then.
Good.
So we're happy to have him on board and have another planner here, especially as we start the Riverwalk there. It'll be a lot of work, and we've got the staff to do it now.
Yay,
Good job.
welcome.
All right.
And I apologize in advance for this crew.
If there's no other business before us, then.
Make a motion to adjourn?
We
Second.
have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.